Experience Yosemite is a virtual reality film that lets you tour this incredible national park in VR. We take you inside places that even when you visit Yosemite, you can't do these experiences.
Flying over the trees, diving into the history of the valley in a way that you can't in real life.
And we've decided very intentionally to focus on experiences that were both significant for human culture, even beyond the valley, significant really in the history of Yosemite, but that were experiences no one would ever get a chance to do.
In 1903, John Muir wasn't just a conservationist, he was a celebrity. For decades, the public had been eagerly following his exploits in the wilderness of Yosemite, bringing them tales of adventure and beauty from a world beyond their own.
Experience Yosemite opens with the fateful trip that President Teddy Roosevelt took to go see it for himself. And he wrote a letter to John Muir and said, "I want you to show me Yosemite." You know, he wanted to go sleep under the stars. Like, he was like, him and Muir. And there was like all these people with them because the president had just gotten killed.
Yeah.
And they ditched him. The next morning, they were supposed to ride and meet everybody.
And they ditched the Secret Service?
They had a big breakfast all lined up for everyone.
Wow.
And Muir and Roosevelt were on horseback. And they just rode full speed right through the camp and ditched them. And fully did, like 2-3 days they were out.
Sounds like them, doesn't it? Yeah.
Glacier Point.
But God, was that a stroke of luck to have Roosevelt visit?
Yeah.
To be able to be inspired to do such a thing like that.
There was a famous photo op at one of the giant sequoia trees, these trees that are wide enough to drive a car through. And so we did photogrammetry of that actual tree. And we put you right there with them as they were taking that photo op.
I'm Greg Downing. I make virtual reality, and I work with a lot of scanning technologies. One of my favorites is photogrammetry. A photogrammetrist is someone who is involved in creating these three-dimensional scans from photographs. Basically, I'm shooting a sphere by taking 4 positions, and that gives me lots of overlap between images. So it's from the ground to the top of the sky, and about this wide.
Greg Downing, who's one of the kind of world's experts on photogrammetry, who's also a legendary lifelong Yosemite photographer. It's just perfect to bring Greg in and have him really oversee all the photogrammetry.
Well, we're gonna go do some photography from the air. One of the most exciting things about this project is you get to see Yosemite in kind of the ideal way, which is to fly. We're using that to create a beautiful tapestry of the actual surface imagery of the valley so that the visitors and the VR experience can fly all around Yosemite.
You're gonna get views that no human has ever had in Yosemite.
And this is how we are able to not fly a drone and still get the material we need.
In Yosemite, it's illegal to fly a drone. So we're gonna show you what it's like to be from that drone's perspective.
So how high up is the camera?
20 feet.
And before you know it, you're at the foot of El Capitan.
El Capitan, a primeval rock towering above everything else in the valley.
This is the first VR project on a national park in this scale. This was by far the most challenging part of the shoot. It took a lot of planning, so we spent 4 days shooting, 3 nights camping on the face while we were shooting. And all the photogrammetry that we did climbing along those surfaces, that would be great for putting you right where we were, like really close to the surface. But we also wanted to present the viewer with the entire feature.
The real trick has been, how can we take this place that is so gigantic and actually get it into a computer?
the delicate sheet becomes a torrent, streaking white comets plummeting off the saddle in an endlessly shifting shower.
When trying to mimic Mother Nature, there are so many variables that you have to take into account. Natural phenomena are one of the hardest things to simulate in a computer. Just think about sitting and looking at clouds for an hour. You look at those clouds and they're fluffy, and the thing that makes them fluffy is the fact there's just so much chaos. And having a computer simulate that is very difficult.
The thing about Yosemite is that all of history is these different cycles of humans finding that place and doing the exact same thing. They say this place is special, and they create this whole network of ways for people to get there.
Let me do one entire pass of this again, just to see if I can get a flow to it.
Yeah.
Yosemite's native peoples were just one star in a wide constellation of regional tribes and families.
I think one of the highlights for me was really learning the history of that valley and how rich the society was.
Yosemite has traveled a long time to meet us. The mantle of sacredness wrapped around its steep shoulders. The native peoples recognized it, as did the Americans who came later.
That entire last pass was flawless. That was perfect, man.
Cool.
That was great.
For a few days each February, Yosemite gives its own masterclass in composition and color. The Firefall.
The story and the magic of the whole thing is being in the environment. You are inside the movie. You're not outside it, you're not watching it, you are in it. And my job as a composer is to attach your emotions to the feeling of what's happening.
I'm hoping that people come away with this inspiration to explore Yosemite in a way they wouldn't have if they had just gone there by themselves.
In some ways, we're really hopeful that virtual reality is going to be a generative way for more people to experience Yosemite who don't get a reservation or can't make it there.
I look forward to doing this. I want to experience what this is like.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to give audiences a chance to kind of step back and think about the ages of Yosemite, to protect it, to participate with it.
People will keep striving to make their mark on history. But at Yosemite, it is the valley that makes its mark on us.